time came when the ticker tape in the broker's office told a new story. It was panic. 16.5 million shares of stock sold in a single day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stock Dirty to Me, the #1 podcast for beginner investors on Facebook. I am, of course, Phil Better, and beside me is the Baba for Lifer, the millionaire mentor himself, Lloyd Ross. Lloyd, how you doing?
Phil, my good man, how you going? Good?
Very good. I hope everybody liked my new background. Yeah, I moved into a bigger place. Not really. Hold on. Tony just joined us. I'll move down here. I was confused to what was going on. I'm like, why am I on the main screen here? I just moved into my new place, and it's a mess, so I'm using your virtual background right now.
Looks good. Looks real.
That's what I said. I wouldn't even have said it was virtual. Just
This
write
is a
it out.
virtual background. I'm using a virtual background too. My real background is like Hawaii, but I have to put this heat up so that it's more relatable.
Yeah, we got Mark tuning in while he's heading home from a track state championship coaching in Connecticut, and he's on his way to your backyard, Tony. So that's good.
Hey, man. Always welcome in my backyard. So Cheers to you. Hopefully you won your track meet.
Yes.
Because the Stock Dirty to Me podcast does not like losers. We only like winners.
No. Only track the winners.
If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. Let's go.
Yes. All right, guys. So tell me about the week. How we're doing. I'm down $1. I don't like that.
Down
Why am I down $1?
That's the losing mentality, Phil. I just talked about that. We don't like losers. I'm up this week.
You're gonna have to get off the show now, Phil. You're done.
Bye.
You're out. You're out of the family.
And we just saw the glitch in your house. We placed third and made nice. Made regionals. That's good.
How come you're down? Stocks only go up.
Yeah, well, I pick the winners over here. I must be picking winners. Baba and Vu. That's all I pick.
I'm telling you that Baba's dragging you down, man. Come on over 100% to Vu.
No, I'm going to be the experiment. I'm going in both. We'll see at the end of the year how we do.
Yeah, good idea. I would say 5 years.
Okay. I'll give Lloyd 5 years. We'll go 5 years. That's how long the show will run.
I only go day by day, man.
I think Bubble will be five. I think it'll be $500 a share in 5 years. So it's 5x from today's price. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
There's no way that Vu's doing that. No flipping chance.
Somebody raising chickens in their house? Sounds like a bunch of chickens clucking.
No, I have birds all in front of me. I'm right in front of my window right now, and there's nothing but birds for the rest of my life. They wake me up. It's so annoying.
You're like in a Disney film.
Yeah, I know. Except they don't clean. They just annoy.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day.
Well, speaking of wonderful days, today was a fantastic day. The NASDAQ closed up almost 3%. The Dow Jones was up over 1%, I believe. And
I believe
S&P
was up 4%.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out at the end of the year. But, yeah, so it was a good day for Baba. Yeah, but we have some big announcements. Who wants
We
to
do.
Yeah,
start?
but we have to hold off on that. You can't come out with the gun right away,
No,
man.
no.
We're only
I want to
7
come
minutes into
out
this.
with the rocket launcher right away. Let's get into it.
All right.
Let's talk about it because it's a big deal, and we have to explain some things.
Are you pulling the rocket launcher out now?
Yeah, like it's not
Go
even.
big or go home. Go big or go home.
Okay.
Phil wants
but
to
we
start
want-
out with a slingshot, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah,
let's-
you build up. Like you don't understand. We're trying to keep them enthused for the whole episode, not like give them the juice right away.
Well,
Well,
Let's-
we ended up buying some Citigroup.
There you go. Yes, you told us last week you were going to buy that.
Yeah. So that's good. It's down, which is typical. So it's good. I want to keep it down low for the next year.
Yeah. So here we go. We got any chance you guys can share your thoughts on if you think oil will continue to rise or if you believe Biden will strike a deal with Saudi.
let's save that for the end of the show. In detail, we will discuss that. Stay tuned.
Jesus. And then we're getting love from Canada. I always loved a few Canadian people chilling with us. So more Canadians, the better. I feel outnumbered.
So, Phil,
Well,
yeah,
you want
so-
to lead us? Who wants to? Lloyd, you want to talk about it? Lloyd.
No, I'll
let's have
talk
Lloyd.
about it. Yeah, Lloyd,
All
okay.
right, Phil, you
Millionaire
go.
will. Me?
I'll
Okay,
come in.
hold on.
I'll come in throughout.
All right, there we go. So it's coming up to our 1-year anniversary of doing this show for you guys live every week in the Facebook group. 52 episodes, 50. Where this is going to be the 51st episode, and we're deciding we're going to be launching something for you guys. Signing up, it will go. I'll put the comment in the chat where you can sign up and in the notes and all that. But you can sign up to a group, a private group, and it gives you some amazing benefits apart from, instant access to the three of us to help you with your portfolio. It's going to be actually weekly Stock Dirty to Me podcasts, strictly in that group. We are going to be going live once a month in this current group. So if you want to see us weekly and get updates on the news and that, you have to join the group. So you'll get weekly podcasts with us live in the group. Of course, we'll discuss market updates live for the and the news of the week. Facebook groups post daily with market updates by your man Tony's going to share that. Personalized portfolio audits with our millionaire investor, which we're really happy to have him come in. So once a month or once a quarter, he's going to come in and help you guys with analyzing your portfolio so you guys can have winning portfolios to make millions of dollars. He also charges a lot for this. So we got it at a discount when you hear how much it's going to cost. And then our favorite monthly stock picks. We're going to give you our stocks that we think are good for the month and or that we like. So that's pretty much it, you guys.
And yeah, to give you a taste of what we're doing too with the daily updates, that question about that we just got about oil, that would be one massive daily update that we would write a summary on for that day. We're going to do daily. So for instance, we'd have like June 2nd, top 3 things that happened today and what the market is doing today. And that, the OPEC deal would be a huge part of that. So we would discuss that in detail, write a long post explaining what it means in simplest form possible, because a lot of people aren't going to understand all this technical jargon. So we wanted to keep it simple, keep it easy to understand, and just a little daily summary. So every day, Lloyd or I are going to do that every single day and give you updates on what's going on. And that's something that I'm not going to be spending too much time doing things like that in the main group anymore, just because I have too many other things going on. So I will be transitioning all of that over to this exclusive group that we just started. So that'll be an added benefit. And also, when you sign up for our group, I decided I'm going to give everybody that signs up a free copy of my course as well. And you could give it away
I'll give everyone a copy of both my books.
Yeah, so you'll have two free books, the course, and you could give them away as gifts to family or friends, or you can use them yourself. So that's also an added benefit of this exclusive group. So, and also, Lloyd, do you want to talk about what we're doing as far as member total, like how many members we're going to have?
So we want to make it exclusive because it's just better when everyone knows each other and there's like we're all on the same page about what we want to achieve. So we're going to limit it to 100 members only. So once we get to 100 members, there's no more memberships. You have to wait until someone actually leaves or their membership lapses or whatever it might be. And so we're going to do 100 members max, but also we're going to give this special pricing to the first 10 members as foundation members, so that we encourage those to jump in straight away. We want to give them the best price. It's crazy value. I mean, like these
just getting you is well, like amazing.
Well, these types of things, they run it like a few $100 a month. I'm part of a couple of Discords with some value investors, and that's typically what I pay. But it's very high level. And this is really geared towards a beginner, so that we're going to be able to unpack a lot of things for you guys so that you understand fundamentals, because there's no point being in something if you don't know what's going on. You're going to get a free education as well as having all that extra value in place. So
would you say this is like building on, I would say it's beginner level, but we're building on this group. So it's going to be another level. We're going to talk more about stock analysis and more in-depth things, but still at the fundamental level. We'll build off of it as we go along. Well,
right now, all the stuff we talk about, particularly when we go through examples of why we buy things and what we're doing and how that affects that's just ridiculous amounts of value that ought to be. It's just crazy that we're given. It's ridiculous that it's free, actually. And I think that, that's so if you, particularly the guys that engage with us, like it's perfect for them because it also encourages you to start reading and looking at things because you're invested in it. And I think it just makes you better, right? So there's power in proximity. There's also power in actually, when you pay attention. And I want everyone to pay attention because I want everyone to learn. So yeah, that's it. 100 members only. Once it's finished, it's finished.
Yeah, and I know our weekly lives, we typically get from like 300 to 700 views per week. So the first 100 people will be able to join this group. And because we want to keep it, like he said, we want to keep it small and more like a community feel than just a massive group where people get lost. And so we're all kind of connected and more like a small community family type atmosphere. And you'll have a lot more personal one-on-one time with Lloyd or myself or Phil or, to whatever you want to talk about. Phil's the podcasting mogul down there in his virtual reality home.
He's in the metaverse.
Yeah, I'm already in the metaverse.
So today actually was crazy. Today I actually just hit a 6-figure net worth because I paid down some debt.
Come on.
So I finally,
let's go.
So in 5 years, I went from like $8,000-$9,000 to my name to over $100,000 in just 5 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I feel upper middle class now. Yeah. I wouldn't say rich yet because I'm not anywhere near the goal, but so I could help people. I mean, the access just to Lloyd alone is amazing. For what are we doing for prices? We didn't even mention that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, so I got that. I'll get that. So
is it $9.99 for foundation?
No. The foundation membership. So it's a monthly recurring fee, so that you guys know. But the first 10 people that sign up will get it at $19.99 for as long as they're there, and then it's gone. And then everybody else will be paying $27.99 a month for membership access. So the other 90 will pay that.
Should we give the foundation members $9.99?
We can do $9.99 if you want.
Let's do it for the first 10.
Yeah, okay. I'll re-edit I'll go back and re-edit all the paperwork and that. But yeah,
because that's not
foundation
that
member.
Yeah,
no. Foundation members $9.99. There, you got it live. You get an even bigger discount, nearly $20 off.
And I think the first 10 members, you also have the opportunity to become group moderators too. Maybe we can have that.
That's an added bonus as well.
Yeah. Well, you could help us filter out the posts, and if you want to post your own, if if you want to post your own questions or updates about what's happening in the market, you can do that as well without our approval. So that's an added benefit as well. So as long as you keep it stock related, you're posting, pornographic images or something, we're gonna
Jesus, Tony,
We're
right
gonna-
there. I was going memes.
Yeah.
We'll give you, if that happens, you'll get free membership because
you get free membership for life. Yeah.
And if you want to have fun and be around us and be in close proximity, we're going to do some cool stuff in there, and we're going to go, do a lot of stuff together, and we can do pop-up things in there, and you just don't know what's available. So, for what, 2 coffees a month for the first foundation.
2
membership?
Starbucks Frappuccinos.
Well, for 1.5 gallons of gas a month. Come on, $9.99.
You had to make it more relevant, and hit home, Tony. Jeez.
So
Well,
it's really valuable.
Yeah. So hopefully, it'll probably take about a week to start filtering people into this group. And so how it's going to work is if you want to join this group, you can directly DM one of us 3. Probably Phil would be your best bet because he's
Go for Phil.
go.
If you're DM me, I will send you the link to the email list. I will send you all through everything to pay on that, because we want to have everyone sign up to the email list so that we can send out the massive email to the individual people.
And we already built the group. We're starting to build the foundation of it, and I don't know when we'll probably launch it. I don't know, whatever. We haven't come up with a launch date yet, but the group exists. We could send you the invite to it, but it's not officially online yet. But it will be maybe next Monday or something. We'll have it all ready to go.
Yeah, I'm in the process of doing the questions, the rules, and all that, so that it's all set up properly for when we have group members in.
So our goal is to provide you with amazing daily updates and the amount of quick, kind of snack-like updates, throughout the day of what's happening, rather than a really long article from Bloomberg with all this technical crap in it that nobody understands. We're going to give you just the important stuff that you need to know for what's happening on that day. We're going to tell you what the market closed at, and we'll give you our opinions of where we're headed, and also analyze your portfolios. Talk about OPEC.
Yeah, that would be
So it's a lot of I think it's going to be very valuable group, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be more fun. As much as I like this group, I think it's going to be even more fun because it's going to be just a really tight knit community. So
Oh, and the podcast, the episodes for the show, if you do not decide not to join this privileged group, which I think you're missing out, will be just the episodes that we do in the regular stock market for beginner group, and so it will end up being a monthly show, no longer weekly, as well, because we're not releasing the lives that we do in our private group anymore. Yeah,
so we'll do one live a month in this group. And then in the exclusive group, we'll continue doing what we're doing every week. So we'll see. We don't have an official launch date, but if you want to sign up, DM Phil, and we'll probably get it up and running.
Especially for foundation members, $9, $9.99, whatever it is. 10
people.
First 10, that'd be exciting. And we can open it up fast with our first 10 and just have that first initial foundation in there, and you get access to us first. So we can kick off a celebratory Zoom. We can just do a deep dive on your portfolio straight away. Extra value.
We could really, and it's really going to be dialed into those that very small. And the thing is, people, when you pay for something, you tend to care more about it and put more effort into it.
Yeah.
So
you pay attention.
Every show will basically have everybody watching live, or most people will be watching live, and it'll just be great engagement, and it'll be a good learning experience for everybody. Even I've learned a lot over the last couple of years in this group, just doing research for my podcast and learning about things I never would have looked up on my own. there's so many like there's so much useless information I have now about the stock market. Just how like
It's not useless. It's not
order
useless.
payments and yeah, just so many different things that I know now. It's like but it's you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna be a QQQ expert like me. So, which by the way, QQQ is up almost 8% since I bought into it again. That's what you call time in the market perfectly, which is
that is time in the market. You've done a good job.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah,
And
it
then
was
soon
really
you
good
guys
time.
will be doing that too because you joined the private group.
Yeah, I actually hit it at the direct bottom. So who says you can't find the market bottom? Come on. Now, some other things, I'm not going to say I got lucky with all of that type of things, but QQQ has worked out well for me. So that's why I'm the resident expert.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
seriously, if you're in QQQ and you held and you're down 30%, you're going to be okay. Just keep averaging down. You'll be fine.
There you go.
Good time to keep buying.
Yeah, oh yeah. So do we want to talk about OPEC and the gas prices with what just happened today?
Go for it. You go. You're the resident economist.
Yeah.
Well, OPEC, which is the oil producing nations of the world in the Saudi Arabia type region of the world, they decided that they're going to send the United States about 650,000 barrels of oil per day, which is a shocking development because originally they weren't going to send us anything. I'm not sure why they decided to do this, probably some type of political favor in return, which we'll find out about later, I'm sure. Actually, this ends up being about 400,000 barrels more than what we were getting from Russia before the war. So in theory, if it's true that these gas prices are inflated only because of Russia, if that's true, then we are about to see that completely eliminated because we're going to get 3 times the supply that we were getting from Russia. So you would think gas is going to fall to an all-time low now, right? So you're going to probably see gas at about $1 a gallon, everybody. Just kidding. That's not going to happen. In fact, probably very little is going to happen with gas. You'll probably see it drop to maybe about $4, maybe $3.50, probably back to where we were prior to this war. But what's not going to happen is you will not get a discount on gas, and you can almost guarantee that. So, yeah. So forget that. That won't happen. We could be getting 100,000. We could be getting 100 million barrels of oil from Saudi Arabia, and somehow gas will still be $3-4 a gallon.
Yeah.
So we're kind of we're down the road of no return at this point. But it should help. It should alleviate gas. In some parts of the country where you're seeing $7-8 a gallon, in like California and certain states where it's extremely ridiculous. You would think it would come back down to a reasonable level, but I don't believe that the gas problem is because of Russia. I think that's the excuse. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting experiment because we've heard for the last 6 months that this is all, or the last 2-3 months, that this is all the Putin gas tax price. So now we'll see if that was true and if we go back down to what we were at before. So, yeah, that's my take. I could go into more detail, but that's the simplest take. Yeah.
I think that inflation is once prices go up, they don't come back.
Nope.
You notice that? Like
no, they never come back. They never go back down. They'll go back
because
to
of
like
profits.
they'll go back to a previous price, but once they break that new barrier, that new high, that's their new floor. That's the new floor for gas. And what it does is it'll go up like it's doing now. Gas is $6-7 a gallon. So if it comes back down to $4 a gallon, we're all going to be celebrating. This is amazing. Oh my God, this is great. But it's still $4 a gallon. So, we're still losing, unfortunately. I will say it's a good time to be in oil stock.
People, they don't want to know how to trade it. So Warren Buffett loaded up on Occidental Petroleum, big long-term business. That one had been around for eons, like 100 years, I think. Occidental's been around for. He also has a massive position in Chevron. He topped up again there. So I think it'll continue to. Well, we'll see. We'll see what oil does, but it's interesting because as the world moves away from hydrocarbons, or they're trying to move away from hydrocarbons, oil actually may become more expensive, and so will energy, I think, because I just don't know if it's possible to move away from hydrocarbons like people think. That's what I actually think. I just don't think it's. I think it's la la
Listen,
land.
if we cover the whole of Australia in solar panels, there's enough sunlight down there that we can have power the whole world. I'm guaranteeing it. Plus, we'll have a cool laser.
And
Just
you'll
saying.
probably be killed by some rabid animal before you finish covering Australia in solar panels, because it's the wild west out there. It's the Amazon. But
Yeah, it would make-
I'll say this about the price of oil. Historically, from what I've looked into this a little bit, when oil falls to like $30 a barrel, there's like a range. It's like $30 a barrel is really cheap, load up. Oh my God, it's like going out of business sale. And then when it gets up to about $130 a barrel, that's probably when it's time to sell historically. So once it gets to that $130 mark, it's probably a good time to start selling and taking profits. And then once it falls to that $30 a barrel mark, it's time to refinance your house and buy as much oil stock as you can. But I'm joking about refinancing.
Remember when oil went negative?
Yeah. So
that's the first time I think I've ever recorded it going negative. So they were paying you to hold oil.
Insane. Yeah. So that's why it's really good to hold ETFs like SCHD, because the top companies, there's like 5 of the top 10 companies now are oil companies that are paying like crazy dividends too. So, and institutions are loading up on SCHD. They've been doing it all year. If you look at like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, if you look at what they're doing with SCHD, they're loading up on it every single quarter. So when I see that, it's like, okay, what do they know about this? They know that something big is going to happen. So that's
why
my
they
take
make
on
millions and billions of dollars.
What's oil at a barrel right now? Let's see. I haven't looked.
Oil.
Yeah, you guys have to kind of do that stuff because my internet's really bad right now. So I don't know.
117? 117 is it?
Yeah, 117. So historically, it's getting to that high mark. It's getting to, when it gets to like around 130, it's probably when you're like, all right, it might be time to take some of my profits off the table here. Because oil and silver and gold aren't really commodities that you want to hold forever. You kind of want to hold them during certain economic circumstances that are happening in the world at that specific time. So it's not necessarily trading. You're not necessarily trading, but I wouldn't think of it as that, but more of like 1 year or less type holds when you're buying things like these. Most of the time. Depends on the situation. Obviously, we had a pandemic that was a once in 100-year situation, and oil went negative. So you're probably never going to see that again.
Doubtful.
And surprisingly, gold hasn't really done much either, which typically you can't pull up anything, Phil?
No,
What's gold at for the last year? I don't think it's done too much. The price of gold.
Gold. Gold Barrick.
Let's see, GLD. What do we look? GLD ETF. Let's see. Yeah, so over the last year, gold.
It's going up.
Yeah, but if you bought it's gone up. I don't think so. Over the last year,
1,900 for the year.
Over 1 year. Over 1 year.
Yeah, flat.
It's down 0.5%. Whereas over that same year, I think the S&P 500 is doing like the exact same thing. It might actually be up now. S&P 500 over a year. Let's see, what are we looking at? It's down 0.38%. So
I think since gold's traded for the last couple hundred years or whatever it might be, 300 years or something, I think it's up 1%.
yeah. So that's what I mean. Like you want to buy it during when people are scared to have dollars, when people are scared that the dollar is starting to lose its value, that's probably the times that you want to buy gold. That's when people start to buy more gold, is when they think the dollar is losing its purchasing power. But the thing is, these last 2 years have been really weird. Things have been happening that historically shouldn't be happening. Like gold should be skyrocketing right now, but it's not.
Because of crypto.
It could be, there could be something to that. The thing about crypto is crypto's highly correlated to the stock market, and it really does follow what the stock market does, which is very concerning. If I'm a person that's really heavy into crypto and believes in crypto, I'd be very concerned that Bitcoin is trading with Bitcoin is trading with the NASDAQ for like a year now. So it tells me it's tied to tech companies, which is pretty concerning. Go ahead. Yeah.
So this is what I think, because right now we're in that in between the old way of thinking and the young kids, because crypto is going to be here to stay eventually, either as a currency for the world or at least for the digital world. Crypto is going to be there because we're going to have the metaverse thanks to Elon Musk and his Android buddy Mark Zuckerberg. So because the only way it can pretty much stay with the new and the old is through the stock market. So the old people understand it through the stock market. The young kids actually understand it for what it actually will be in the future. That's what it's going on. That's why crypto is linked to the stock market. And that's why people bought that instead of gold. Because if you have to think about it, our generation is going to take over and we're looking to the future. And gold isn't in the future.
I would argue gold is far more valuable than Bitcoin because gold you can make electronic components with it. You can make jewelry with it.
Because you're coming from a scarcity idea, because people they're thinking of the future, going for.
Well, no, I'm not thinking of the future. I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking of the terms of what is the value of this. Bitcoin, I literally can do I can just look at it on a screen, whereas and it just goes up and down and it's traded in dollars. The price of Bitcoin is US dollars, so it's not even its own entity as far as the pricing of it. And in order for me to do anything with it, I have to sell it, get dollars for it, and then use those dollars. Whereas gold actually has value in the world. Like, if gold disappeared tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to make a lot of electronics. We wouldn't be able to make a lot of jewelry. You would lose a lot of wealth out of central banks around the world, because central banks around the world have billions of dollars in gold as a form of currency and a form of money. Whereas if Bitcoin vanished tomorrow, other than the money that you have in Bitcoin, I wouldn't even know it was gone. Someone would have to tell me it's gone. You know what I mean? If all of a sudden all the gold in the world just disappeared tomorrow, my phone wouldn't be working anymore. My electronics wouldn't be working. I might not be able to start my car. There might be, there's a lot of ramifications from that. Whereas if Bitcoin disappeared tomorrow, I would have no idea until someone told me. You know what I mean?
Oh, I fully agree.
That's what I mean by the value. That's what I mean.
No, I agree with you. Like, I fully agree with you. But you have to change the way you're thinking, because Bitcoin is being accepted by younger generations, not the older generations. And the younger generations,
I agree. This
mentality that they'll always have this stuff of consumerism. It's a way of thinking. So they don't realize that gold is a finite resource.
The other thing about gold is, if we get hit with like an EMP or a solar flare, you can't trade Bitcoin you can't barter with Bitcoin, because you can't get any of your Bitcoin.
No, but Lloyd learned you can barter with your body and time and water.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what gold too. Gold is a commodity you can barter with.
Well,
So
not really. It's not as effective as US dollars to barter with.
right, yeah,
And it's also not as effective as goods or services. I think it's like above Bitcoin, but it's not great. It's just the thing with gold is like what's interesting about for the viewers is that this is what's fascinating, and I think I see it in the group a fair bit. People are like talking about lots of different topics, like, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? I'm like, I actually have I don't read about gold. I don't read about futures. I don't read about macro stuff. I mean, the macro stuff on the basis of what can I buy as a stock for if it's undervalued. But I actually just buy individual companies undervalued or an index fund. That's all I care about. Gold is not even on my radar. I avoid it. I don't touch it. Silver, same. Crypto, same. I think the lesson to take away is that you can't get rich by owning lots of shit. Like, bit of Bitcoin, bit of this, bit of gold, bit of that, got my acorns, got some of that, got over here, and you're kind of just floundering around. I think the best way to do it is to find a company, because companies are the most productive assets in the world, businesses. And so you find one that's just going to be like really undervalued, good quality. It's going to produce 5-10x returns for you, and you load up. And that's how you actually get rich. And I think it's good to talk about gold and that sort of stuff, but only as it relates to the fact that I avoid it. And
yeah. I'm not saying I would hold massive amounts of gold in a safe.
But why hold any?
Well, I'm just saying in terms of real world usage of what you can do with gold compared to Bitcoin, I still don't know what I could do with Bitcoin. I had some, but I just looked at the numbers on a screen and I can't do anything with it.
I don't know either
So
what I can do with Bitcoin. Exactly. I agree 100% with that.
maybe I can go to a Subway and buy a sandwich with it, but why would I do that if I can do that with dollars? Like what's the difference?
That's
you know? So
it's actually harder with Bitcoin because you have to learn an operating system, do a different wallet, there's friction to it. Yeah.
I don't have to store my dollars in a cold storage and do all these things. You know what I mean? Like with Bitcoin, and it's not decentralized. Like the whole point of it was supposed to be, it was decentralized from a central banking system. No one entity controlled the supply of it. It was supposed to democratize finance, meaning like make it more accessible for everybody. It was supposed to be deflationary. And so far, I believe all of those things have been debunked. It does none of those things. It's not decentralized because it literally trades with the stock market. And so many influencers are in on it now. Corporations own it. Institutions own it. It's not democratizing anything because it's harder to get Bitcoin than it is to get a bank account in the US, and open a brokerage account. And it's not, and you can't use it as easily as you could with a dollar. And it's not deflationary because we're in the highest inflationary environment we've been in 40 years, and Bitcoin's down 30% this year.
Yeah.
So,
and it's regulated now, so all the cowboy days are over. And if you're starting to trade in that space, they may regulate it to the point where you can't do that without a license or something. But the whole thing's going to come undone. I think it's the last legs we see for Bitcoin. I'm not
one of these people that's like, this is evil. Well, I'm like super against it. I just don't. I go back and forth, and I thought I understand it. I did a lot of research on it. I actually started doing a crypto course. I think we talked about that. And halfway through this course, I did about half of it. And I'm like, I don't even believe any of this shit I'm saying. Like, how can I teach something? I don't even believe any of this shit. I just feel like it would be a scam for me to even sell that. So that's why
I remember when you went through that pit. I remember when you went through that phase. I was like, no, we've lost him.
You didn't go too far. You didn't go too far.
No, I feel like I would have been. I never recommended any of that shit other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. I kind of understand the blockchain. I understand how that could be useful, but I think Ethereum is a company run by a CEO that has a lot of say on how things go. So that's not decentralized either. And I kind of think that CEO is very shady. Go on a TED Talk and look him up on YouTube. and I've listened to a lot of what he says, and he sounds like Charles Ponzi. Like he really does from the 1900s. Sounds like Bernie Madoff.
Don't you think that if you can't explain something in a simple sentence, that that's a problem? Like you hear about it with pyramid schemes that actually do happen. People can't explain them. They end up talking themselves into a hole. And if you have to research something in detail to understand it, the answer is don't touch it.
Lloyd, don't you hear like when people talk about? I listen to hundreds of hours of crypto interviews of people trying to these experts, and they all say the same buzzwords: democratized, decentralized, deflationary, limited supply, blockchain, dApps. They all have the same buzzwords, but they're not really saying anything.
No, there's no actual benefit to society. Like they talk about frictionless. I think the one part of it is the blockchain technology, when applied to open source accounting and frictionless transactions through banking institutions, and I think that's really effective. But that's not what they're selling. They're selling get rich with this, and they're not selling the actual technology. They're actually selling this as a story to make money, and all of them are doing that. But the actual technology component to it that are being adopted by a lot of companies, like travel companies for booking systems and stuff, there's a lot of utility in the actual technology. But that's not what this is about. The only reason it's popular is because people are trying to trade it to make shit tons of fiat currency and buy Lamborghinis with fiat currency to put it on Instagram, which is funded by fiat currency. It's the only reason.
If you couldn't catch that, Lloyd is not a fan of cryptocurrencies with the whole bunch of fiat. He's not. And
I'm long fiat. It's really funny when someone sells their Bitcoin or their Ethereum or they go long fiat and short crypto.
You know what's funny, Lloyd? I think the one thing that really destroyed Bitcoin and made it seem like such a joke is the fact that there's 10,000 other coins now.
Yeah.
Named after dogs and cartoon characters and celebrities and
Matt Damon.
Name it. Yeah, name your favorite anything, and there's a coin named after it.
Yeah.
There's ridiculous name coins. I'm not even going to say something.
When an actor starts
Fortune
promoting
favors the bold
financial product, it's game over.
Yeah. Well, fortune favors the bold. So if you don't buy this, you're not bold enough to make any money. That's right. How many people have lost? They actually did a study of how many people have lost money since that commercial aired. Like it had like tens of millions of views, and Bitcoin has fallen like 60% since that commercial aired. Something insane like that.
I can always tell when things are a bit of a like a fad is because really unintelligent people make money.
Well, and nobody's going to jail. So many of these celebrities are promoting these coins. They'll post the links on their channels, and then as soon as people start buying the coin, the celebrity sells all their stake in it. They get like 10,000 or 100,000 of these coins to promote it. They sell it. They make tons of money. You lose all your money.
It's like the Fire Festival of finance.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, and that's why I couldn't get myself to make this crypto course.
But I think it's important for people to learn too that the fundamentals of assessing things for what they are and what they produce for society, and having good fundamentals of like how do we serve customers and so people with our products and services. And if you can't answer that question simply, then it's completely a void. And that's why people say, "Oh, should I get into crypto?" I'm like, why can't you assess that for yourself? Like, stick around your circle of competence. If you only understand that I buy a house, tenant pays me rent, I make money from land value growth. If that's the extent of what you can do, stick with property.
Yeah.
Right.
To your point, a good example of everything you just said, which makes so much sense, is a guy I work with just started investing a year ago. Didn't know about this. I talked to him today. He had $20,000 in a Robinhood account. He's down. So last year he bought a ton of XRP, which is that company that was sued by the SEC and they're under investigation. They've been frozen on like Coinbase and all these other exchanges for a while now. He's down $7,000 in that. he's down thousands of dollars in Shibu Inu, and then he bought AMC. And I was like, man, I wish you talked to me a year ago. I would have saved you so much money. And I was like, honestly, you're better off just getting out of that stuff. He goes, no, like, I'm down so much, I have to write it out. I'm like, well, he was like, how much worse could it get? I'm like, you can go to zero. Like you didn't even.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, what is Shibu Inu? And he couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
But
it can actually go to zero. That's the thing, and that's what you should bet on.
Yeah. If you're relying on a lawsuit to settle for something you're invested in, like that's bad investment strategy. Like your money is dependent on the SEC, finishing up a lawsuit. Like that's not a good place to be. But
anyway, we all agreed to agree never to touch. Well, I just think we talk stocks. I just think people will make money. It's interesting what Amy said. Money goes where money is. How true is that? It's like P.T. Barnum. Nothing attracts a crowd quite like a crowd.
Who's Amy?
Amy is a member of the group.
I
haven't put it on the screen because my computer's so slow.
Yeah, we apologize about Phil's computer. We'll get that computer on some caffeine before the actual.
You think if he had a beautiful home like that he'd have a nice computer?
No, I invested it all in the house. It was invested all in the house, Lloydie. Did it wrong.
Jump on the baby grand. Give us a song.
He's got one of those $100 Google Chromebooks. Can barely load anything.
Don't tell anyone.
This is a fun episode. It's going to be great in the premium because we're going to have even more fun and we're going to do some really cool stuff. So I hope everyone jumps in. Hey, do we have a link for it, Phil? We don't have a link yet.
I will be. So there's two ways of doing it. If you want to be a foundation, send me a DM right now. The first 10 people who send me a DM, I will give them the discounted code. And then after I get those 10, I will put the post, a link in the show notes of this show and on the podcast so that they can sign up to the remaining members.
So all they have to do is send you a DM saying discount. That's it.
Yeah, discount. Yeah, discount. Once you've done that, boom, I send you the link for the $9.99 a month membership, and then everybody else after that will get the regular link, and the link will be in the show notes and all that, so you can sign up.
You could send it to you could DM any of us, but Phil would be the best one to go through. And then
you have the best chance of getting the discount code if you DM me. So DM me.
Yeah, the only chance of getting a discount code is to DM him.
Lloyd's not going to answer your DMs. He's too busy. He has his own clients he has to deal with.
Yeah, we're going to do all kinds of crazy things in the group. We're going to do like hot dog eating contests. We're going to do virtual arm wrestling. We're going to do crazy stuff now.
Yeah, midget throwing. It's just going to be.
It's going to feel just like Stanton.
Little people throwing. People throwing.
Great Oakmont.
We're going to break down really important questions that are happening in society. Like, what is a stock? What is a stock, Lloyd? Does anybody even know what a stock is?
No,
we're going to be talking about.
We already have our first member.
We're gonna. That's good. Welcome to our first member. Special discount for them, $9.95. It's good. $9.99. We're going to talk about what a stock is, so people know, because I learned in corporate finance some really important stuff that once you understand this, you're going to just be like, oh shit, I get this now. But if you miss the fundamentals, same with economics. Like, I think that we'll go through like supply and some really elementary economic principles, because if Tony can do that, then you'll understand things better too. So if you've missed the fundamentals from school or uni, or I think it's important we give you those too. So, and we'll talk about financial statements a lot, because once you understand how to read them, you'll understand how to do your own investments. And that is empowering you to be a good investor, not relying on us all the time. I think that's what you're going to get out of it, as well as all the other cool stuff.
Yeah, we can break down, like, even like on our weekly show, we can even break down one stock a week by going through the balance sheet, going through the financials. Yeah. So we could do the group voting on a stock, kind of like we did in the beginning, Phil.
Yeah.
In this group. But if we have a smaller group of only 100 people, we can really spend a lot of time on, very specific stocks, and we can all come to a mutual agreement on one stock a week. Because it's harder when you have 46,000 members for everybody to just pick the same stock, or the same 2 or 3 stocks.
Yeah. We can pull up lots of stuff. There's lots of cool stocks out there to look at. Yeah. There's
AMC, GameStop. I mean, there's so much good stuff out there, guys.
Tesla. I bet no one's heard of that. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. You ever heard of this EV company, Tesla? It's a big deal.
I think they're on the rise.
Yeah. We can see if they're making money. We can, there's honestly, like you said, like it's so, once you understand like balance sheets, financial statements, earning reports, it's easy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, these guys are going to get so much value. I paid I think over the years, at least $60,000, maybe even $80,000 to get educated, and you're going to get it for $9.99 a month. It's ridiculous.
I paid $20,000 to get my business degree and study economics. So,
this is before Facebook. I didn't have any of this stuff when I was doing it. So you guys, if I could do it for $10, my goodness.
I've also watched thousands of hours of interviews online with Warren Buffett, Jack Bogle, Ray Dalio, some of the who's who of investors and financial experts. So I've learned a lot that I otherwise wouldn't have because of this group. So now I want to dial it in the exclusive group.
Totally.
Really.
Yeah. Same. All right. Well, that's really exciting. Well, I got to go, gents. So it's lovely to see you all again. And I'm excited for the special group, the mastermind group. So, hey, hopefully we get our 10 foundation members. We can start helping them straight away. So, thanks.
Should we post an announcement? We'll post an announcement in the group too.
Yeah,
because it'll take a week or two to get the views up on this. Probably hit a couple hundred views. But we'll post the announcement in the group, and in the announcement we'll put the link to Phil, so you can DM him.
Just tag me,
and then we'll.
But also, we only have 9 spots left already, guys. We're down 9 spots.
9 spots left for the foundation membership. Yeah.
9 spots left. You want to get on that as quick as possible. Once I get those 10, no more.
We might even reduce
that. Why don't we set a launch date for June 15th or something? Right in the middle of June.
15th. You have until June 15th to get membership into this group.
And we lost Phil.
Yeah. And we will be buying Phil a new computer with the process of the membership.
He's back.
No, I'm back. I'm getting internet. The internet is bad here. I'm running off my phone.
It's usually very good streaming quality. It's not like this every week. So it will be high quality streaming.
All right, let's end it. Let's end it now before we get any worse.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Good to see you, man. And see you in the member group, everyone. Excited.
Yeah. And